So you-
Okay, all
that that that's kind of change management because we were given 60 days
right. Okay.
with Comcast, and that was a hard time to manage through, right? Because the employees were still expected to come to work and do their job every day.
Oh,
I
right.
probably wouldn't
And
put that on a resume, but is that change management?
no, not exactly. It's like okay, it would be change management if it was like a major restructuring of the organization, and even though there were like layoffs and layoffs along the line, but following that restructuring, you still got that morale up, and that would be like something like change management. But
Okay.
uh, when you say lost your jobs, who lost their jobs? Is that exactly? I don't understand.
So so all of the 50 people,
Mhm.
we all got laid off.
Okay.
Essentially, yeah, essentially the three core responsibilities that we were responsible for, different departments picked up one each, and then we all got laid off.
Oh, so is are you included in that?
Yeah, I'm currently unemployed. I'm just
Oh, all right. So like your the date says like October 2016 to present, right, for this current job. So like
yeah.
when did you leave this job?
I lost my job on August 1st.
August 1st. All right. Okay. Of this year, right?
Yes, of this year. Correct.
All right. Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. We discussed this. We discussed the change management. All right. Okay. And you said that you're responsible for regional metrics for cash, multi-site, 5 plus and hospitality offers. So,
Correct.
did you develop any of these metrics?
Cash.
Okay, and
Um,
what's that?
Cash is basically the process of you as a business ordered services for Friday. A technician showed up on Friday, could not install them for whatever reason. Um, they would call it in through the technician side into the day of job team, and then the day of job team would create a Salesforce ticket for us, and we would engage the customer at that point.
Oh,
And then we would manage that through end to end, whether it be construction, needing construction, or if it was just something simple that we could use local resources to correct and get you installed.
okay. And why did you create this metric? And what was the impact of creating it?
So, great question. So, um, the reason that this process was created, was because we realized that there was an opportunity to save customers and bring in revenue instead of just sending them to a competitor. So that's when cash kind of evolved. I did not have any direct um, involvement in that process development, but the Cash 2.0 I actually did.
Oh,
So basically, Cash, that was basically the Cash description. Cash 2.0 was an evolution in the process. Once we recognized that, we were bringing in 800 orders a month, and the 45% was in play. Well, why do we have 45? Why are we only installing 45% of these customers when we're spending resources and our own money to build to these locations, and when the constructions are complete, the customers don't want the service. So what Cash 2.0 did was we recognized that the system, well, the process was faulty when the order went to construction. We found that nobody was contacting the customer at that point. So the customer
okay.
didn't hear anything for months from anybody at Comcast.
Mhm.
So we noticed, hey, let's change this process, and we basically interjected to when the order goes to construction, we call the customer every 2 weeks. and we found that was our 30%.
And what was the impact of this?
Customer satisfaction, upturn on monthly revenue.
Okay. Is
Is
there any quantifications for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you provide those? Like any quantifications for how much customer satisfaction, how much it became better after implementing Cash 2.0 or anything like that?
Sure. Yeah. So the customer actually has a survey process as well, not just the employee.
Mm-hmm.
And this customer survey is the NPS, just Net Promoter Score.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which that's a corporate-driven thing. That basically, when the order is completed in the system, the customer would automatically get a survey sent to them within 3 business days.
Mm-hmm.
Customer, would hopefully they take the time to fill that out, and hopefully we would see the results in their survey, which those did actually increase as well. I don't remember what those metrics were, but it was pretty drastic in Cash 1.0 to Cash 2.0.
Just for Cash 2.0, okay, so could you pull up those metrics in any way? Like improvement in revenue? Could you find out those metrics in any way, like after this call?
Probably not, because our department doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, I understand. All right. And I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, it's all good.
Right. You're like getting back up on your feet. That's great. And okay, so after this, okay, we talked about this, responsible for regional metrics. Okay, and how did you maintain these metrics at acceptable levels? Okay, I suppose we talked about most of the things that you did to like ensure good performance from your employees, right? Like non-compliant stuff like that, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next role, which is technical operations supervisor at Comcast Business, right? Okay.
Yep.
Would you start by discussing your day-to-day duties here?
Sure. So I'm trying to find that part. I don't know why am I missing it. Residential. Okay, there it is. The daily responsibilities was ensure all employees are at work.
Okay.
For the start of their shifts.
Okay.
Responsible to manage workloads across team members.
Okay.
And adjust accordingly throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Was also responsible for during the day. This would be a day-to-day. So let's see, it was making sure they were here, their jobs were out. Customer escalation.
Okay.
Customer escalation through the day. On-site work support. So if a technician needed any support of any type, I was always available to go help.
Okay.
Same with customers. If they had any problems, I was always available to go help. Really, I mean, that was pretty simple. And then really just make sure all employees go home safely at the end of the day. I mean, it wasn't really too crazy.
Okay, I see.
Kind of drawing a blank on that one.
All right. So one of the things that you have over here is one of the things that you are overseeing over here is like before we move on to the questions from the bullets, are you back on like page number 3 of the call prep?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I just asked you what were your day-to-day duties, right? So the
Yep.
next question is like, how large was your team over
Uh, yeah. How large was your team? My team at that point was anywhere from 10 to 15. I got 10 to 12 on here, but probably
here?
10 to 15 employees.
And what was the scale of your responsibilities? Like, in the last position, you said like you managed the entire like western region of the United States. So over here, like, what was the scale of your responsibilities
Oh, so this was a team of technicians within the Houston market.
within the Houston market? Okay, regional market. All right. And did
Yep.
you work with like remote and on-site, like remote and on-site staff, or just like on-site staff?
No, this was all on-site staff.
Okay, I see. And have you taken any initiatives, or was there like any instance where you? Okay, so there was a couple of things that we missed on in the last one. So
Okay.
did you take in the last position? Hello?
You kind of
Hello?
broke up there. What did you say?
All right. So in the last position, there were a couple of things that we missed out on, right? So
Okay.
I'll be asking you questions regarding that. So,
Yep.
was there ever an instance where you designed standard? Sorry. What was this? Yeah, designed standard work procedures over here.
Did I design standard work procedures? I would say yes.
Okay, or design or
It's kind
improve
of,
anything.
yeah. So really, it was just to improve time management for the technicians.
Okay, and how did you do that?
Sure. So I was a technician myself, and I really found a very good system, and I did the same system over and over and over, so I could always make sure to touch all the points within a customer's home. With this customer now being Comcast business customers, the goal is to not have their services down because then they're losing money, and that is a little bit more impactful than you missing a channel on your TV. So what I tried to do was do ride outs with all of my employees, meet them on site at locations, monitor what kind of work they're doing and how they're doing their work, seeing if they're missing the touch points that one, Comcast says they have to touch, but two, also add in the components that I want them to touch to help minimize any further potential future issues. Wasn't really a formal Comcast training process, but it was kind of just something really just a best practice, to be honest.
Right. Essentially, a way that you use to reduce like time management over there. All right, I understand. Okay. Is there anything that you did to improve employee safety? And that was one of your responsibilities, right? Employee safety.
Yeah,
So, is there anything that you did to improve employee safety?
sure, yeah. um, for the field technicians, I always made sure that when I arrived on site, they had their safety equipment on if they were doing anything that required it per Comcast standards. You're my employee. The goal is for you to go home safely. That's not something to mess around with. There was, I'm pretty laid back as far as a leader, but there's some things that I don't bend on, and safety is actually one of them.
Okay.
And I have examples for them. I would show them, but really stickler on the safety.
You would show them what?
No, usually I would show them examples of good safety practices and bad safety practices.
Okay.
to kind of curb the, their lack of attention at some point.
Mhm. Right. And okay, showed them good and bad safety practices, and that's good. And is there anything else that you did? Like you said that you ensured equipment, like the staff had their safety equipment on. Is there any process that you in place to ensure that they had it on?
Sure. Yeah. So really, with this drive-by, by myself, or other supervisors that I worked with, we always kind of watched everybody. Anytime we seen an employee out. The other program that I did have in place was tool safety. So a lot of the hand tools that they use, to make sure that they were in working and adequate shape for them to
Okay.
use. So we did a tool spot check once a month, and I would just check their tools, make sure that they were good. If they needed replacements, take them to the warehouse, get new equipment, new tools, whatever it was. I think that was a real good program for them,
Okay.
because everybody was scared they had to pay for them directly, but they didn't. So
Okay. Right. And okay, so we talked about like tool safety over here, right?
Mhm.
I don't think this like this is something that you personally instituted, right? Like this monthly tool check.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, right. Okay. And what else? Is there anything else that you did over here to like promote or improve employee safety, or something that you did to like improve ergonomics of the place, like to ensure that the employees didn't strain themselves too much or didn't like damage their bodies in any way, like by working? So anything like that?
No, not really for me. It was more because Comcast has a hard safety program as it is.
Okay.
Mine was just really just inspecting to make sure that they're
Right.
doing it the right way.
Right. And enforcing the policies of that safety program, right? The
Correct.
Comcast.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Correct. I understand. Okay. We are done with employee safety. Did you develop any new tools to facilitate staff?
Um. Oh, let me think. Uh, no, I don't think I did.
Okay. All right. Okay, so over here in this current position, did you improve productivity and efficiency by streamlining any processes, such as by using Kaizen, Six Sigma, Lean tools, or data analytics?
Um. We improved production, but we didn't really use anything like that.
Okay, so how did you improve production?
Sure. So really was uh, quality checks is how we were able to enhance production from a field perspective. I mean, this is pretty much frontline entry level work, but as around QA and training, that's how we were able to really get the most out of our employees,
Okay.
because you have standards from the field personnel as well,
Okay.
for performance management component. And just to put it in perspective, the Comcast range